Hi, my name is Ed Shanshala. I'm from Ammonoosuc Community Health Services. I'm here today to welcome you to Food is Medicine ACHS Teaching Kitchen. Our goal is for you to be able to learn how to produce foods you feel good about in fewer than 30 minutes from prep to plate for you, your friends, and your family. We paid special attention for individuals who have diabetes and hypertension. I hope you enjoy the series, come back frequently to learn more, and have a great day cooking food you feel good about. Thank you. Hi, my name is Ed Shanshala, and welcome to Ammonoosuc Community Health Services Food is Medicine Portable Teaching Kitchen. Today, we're going to pretend it's Sunday because we're going to do a Sunday chicken dinner. And the beauty about Sunday's chicken dinner is that we're going to get more than one meal out of this, as you're going to come to see. So what we have here today is we have a 4-pound chicken. This is an organic chicken I purchased locally. This came from the Littleton Food Co-op. And I have a couple slices of bread here. This happens to be a rosemary garlic rye bread. I thought it was interesting, so I picked that. Sometimes I pick rye, sometimes I pick pumpernickel. If you have some bread at home that's getting a little crusty, maybe it's headed to croutons, it's perfect for stuffing. I like onions in my stuffing, some celery, and herbs. When we get to herbs, there's a couple different things you can do. You could buy a poultry seasoning mix. This happens to come from the Bethlehem Village store. You could grow your own herbs, or you could buy fresh herbs. I like fresh herbs. I'm not very good at growing my own herbs, so I actually bought herbs. So we have rosemary, we have sage, and we have oregano. So these are the three that I'm going to, oh, this is thyme, I'm sorry. So we have rosemary, sage, and thyme. So these are the three that I'm going to use. And when you take them out, this is what they look like. They're actually quite nice. And we'll cut those up. So let's get started. And we also have unsalted butter to saute, and we have unsalted chicken stock. So, you know, I'm wearing gloves today. I'm working with poultry. You gotta be careful working with poultry. You wanna make sure it's cooked properly, handled properly, and it comes to proper temperature when you cook it. So I'm gonna start with the celery. I'm gonna slice it down the middle. As always, be careful with your fingers. I'm gonna slice it twice down the middle, like this. And then I'm gonna chop it, and I keep my fingers curled under so that my fingers are safe. I keep them away from the blade. Once we get them all chopped up, we will add them to my cup of chopped. How much? It's up to you. In this instance, I use 2 stalks of celery. You can look in your fridge and see what you have. Some people like more celery, less celery. It's up to you how much you'd like. So there's the celery. The onion I have chopped here. This is just a yellow onion. You could use a Vidalia. Some people might like a red onion. I like a yellow onion. So again, I've got some cut up here. You could cut this a couple different ways. You could come down through it like this and score it. Again, being careful of your fingers. And then if I come across here, and there you have it. That's one way to do it. So that, now you see how you can chop your onions, and that's basically as much onion as I want for this particular recipe. So I'm going to set this onion aside for now because we're not going to need it. And here's your sage, it's your rosemary, and the little tiny ones. This is your thyme. So easy enough to get off. You just pull the little leaves off the stems like that. I'm going to set this aside because I don't need that anymore. We're going to put the rest of the spices on the chopping board. And we're just going to chop them all up together. I find it to pivot, keep my left hand on the tip of the knife, hold it down, and use my right hand. And my fingers are out of the way of the blade, which is always good. That sage, a couple sage pieces are running away from my blade. All right, we'll put this back in here. These are spices, rosemary, sage, and thyme. Some people might like some parsley. I did in this instance. We'll put that there. And we're gonna get the butter. So this is unsalted butter. We try to be sensitive of how much salt we use. So if people have hypertension, that's one of the reasons you would do it. I'm gonna use a half a stick of butter, which is 4 ounces. We're gonna put it in the pan. I'm gonna turn it on and get this to melt. Got a wooden spoon. While that's melting, I'm going to pour out a cup of unsalted chicken broth. And we're going to add this after we've sauteed the onions and sauteed the celery. We'll add the spices last. As I said, if you add them too soon, you cook them too much, they get bitter. And then we'll add the chicken broth to the bread. So while that's melting, we keep our work surface clean. Put my spoon in the spoon rest. We're gonna cut the stuffing. So I've stacked it up. I think 4 pieces will do. So I'm gonna cut it longwise first. Turn it and cut it into small bite-sized pieces. Just like that. Again, you want to keep your fingers away from the business end of the knife. Put the knife down for a second. Looks like the butter is coming up nicely. I like a little more butter in my stuffing. You could adjust if you want less butter. Maybe you don't like butter. Maybe you could use olive oil if that's what you would prefer. So we're going to put this in the bowl, the stuffing in the bowl. And that'll be all ready. And it looks like our butter's coming up good. All right, so we can add the onions. We can add the celery. The rest of the butter is melting. I'm going to saute that up. So as you can see, it's coming along nicely. The green in the celery is coming out more brilliantly, and the onions are becoming translucent, which is what you like to see. So now we're going to add our spices, and we're not going to let them sit alone for long. We're going to turn the heat down. Again, we just want the heat to bring the aromatics of the spices out and meld it with the onions and the celery. And you can see the liquid of the butter has evaporated. You have a nice sheen of butter on the celery and the onions. Now we're going to add the 1 cup of chicken broth. All right. So we don't need that again, nor that. Let it warm up just a little bit. All right. We're going to turn off the pan. Always be careful. This is a smooth surface, heating surface. It will remain warm for a while. Bring the stuffing over. Now we're going to transfer the butter and the vegetables and the spices to the bread. Just like that. All right. Set that here. Going to mix them up. And you can see the liquid will move into the bread. And it looks like I got a nice ratio. You know, you get a taste for how it looks and the amount of celery and onions and the spices are showing up. Yeah, I like it. I like how this worked out. You do this enough, you measure a little less. You kind of get a sense of what it is. Okay, so now I'm going to put this here and we're going to move the chicken over. You're going to notice that, so here's your chicken breast, here's your legs. You've got your wings. And we're going to flip it over. There's a string here. Please don't cut the string. You're going to want this later, if they put a string. And so we're going to go in to the cavity. These are nitrile powderless gloves. Again, handling poultry, you want to be sensitive that it has to be kept cold. You're going to cook it to the right temperature and nothing in between. You know, so I'm going to get a handful of stuffing. And we're going to put the stuffing in here. We're going to put it till it's full. We're not going to pack it too tight. When you do cook a chicken or turkey, you're going to realize that the cooking time is going to go up based on the weight of the bird and based on if you stuffed it. If you've stuffed it, you're going to have to cook it a little bit longer. So I think that's about as much stuffing as this bird's going to get. Bring the string back over, up over the legs, and that's going to keep the legs in front of the cavity where the stuffing is. I'm going to turn this sideways. We have extra stuffing. What you can do with the extra stuffing, you can put it in a casserole dish and you can put it in the oven and cook it alongside the chicken. Cook it with the top on to cook it, take the top off, you're going to get a nice, it's going to crisp up like toasting it. Now that we have the chicken stuffed, we don't need the gloves anymore, so we can take those off. And we're going to transfer the chicken to an oven. It's a convection oven. You don't have to have a convection oven. The convection oven has a fan that moves the heat around more evenly. It may cook a little bit faster. Realize this is a 4-pound chicken. It's stuffed. It will take longer than an unstuffed chicken. So we're going to open the oven. We're going to place the chicken in it. I'm going to shut the door. I have this set at convection. Don't have to. You may not have a convection setting. Perfectly fine. I have it set at 325, 350 is a good temperature. I'm going to turn it on, and it's going to take about an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. What's really going to determine is the temperature. So I have a thermometer. I would encourage you to have one of these. And we will check the temperature in the thigh. We'll check it in the breast. We're going to take the lowest temperature as the right temperature. When the lowest temperature gets to the temperature the cookbook says is a safe temperature, we're good to go. We can take it out. So at this point, we're going to turn it on. And we'll see you when it's done. And you're going to have a wonderful Sunday chicken dinner. See you soon. Welcome back to Sunday chicken dinner. We've taken the chicken out of the oven. We cooked it at 325 to 2.5 hours, and we checked it with our thermometer. You check it in the thigh, you check it in the breast, you take the lowest temperature. Lowest temperature was over 165 degrees. which is the minimum that you should have a temperature. Higher's not bad, lower's not good. So chicken's all set. We've let it cool down. So we're going to take it out of the cooking pan. Can remove the string that held the legs together that kept the stuffing in. As you can see, some of this chicken, after it's cooked, is relatively easy to remove. So we're going to remove the legs to start with. And I'm going to use a spoon, turn the chicken around, and go in and take the rest of the stuffing out of the cavity. I'm going to put it in this bowl. And then we're going to carve this chicken. So put the spoon over here, grab a carving knife. Legs came off easily. We're actually going to take the meat off of the leg and put it in this bowl. You've enjoyed a nice chicken dinner, so some of this that you will cut off, you will enjoy for dinner. You may have some left over. So we're going to put the chicken here. I'm going to set the bones here for a second. And you can see it's very tender. It's cooled down so I can handle it. Again, I'm wearing gloves because I'm working with poultry. It's a matter of, keeping everybody safe. If you don't have gloves, make sure you wash your hands, handle the chicken, wash your hands. Don't handle the chicken and be touching other things in the kitchen. You'll notice I have a pot here. So I'm going to take the lid off the pot and I'm going to add the chicken bones. We're making stock. So I'm going to come back to the chicken and find the midline of the chicken. And I'm going to take the breast off the chicken. And if you're going to cut it, oftentimes you can cut it in nice sections like this. You do want to let your chicken, when it comes out of the oven, cool just a little bit on the cutting board. It lets it firm up and you get a better cut. And as you can see, you get some nice chicken cut. Maybe you have cranberry sauce, maybe you've made some mashed potatoes, some carrots alongside. So continue cutting this one up. So when I think about this, and you've already had your dinner, this chicken here you can save. And you can make chicken salad, so you can have a sandwich later in the week. You could make chicken a la king. You can make chicken stir fry. Maybe you have some extra vegetables and you can make stir fry. So in the future, we're going to come back repeatedly to what all you can do with your Sunday chicken dinner with the chicken that you didn't eat on Sunday. So let me finish taking the meat off this chicken. We're going to save it because we're going to come back, and I'm kind of looking forward to maybe some chicken salad for sandwiches during the week. So a lot of times you just want to use your hands to get the rest of the chicken off. There's the wings. Get as much meat off as you can. Set the bones aside. So I remember helping my grandmother as a little kid out in the kitchen after a Sunday dinner, and this was part of my job. So once you get as much meat off of it that you want to try to get as much as you can. Take this glove off. Take the lid off. We're going to put the chicken in the water, the carcass, and the remaining bones, not the string. That would be an interesting surprise. You're going to put the lid on. You're going to turn it on. You're going to bring it up to a boil. Once it's boiled, I'm going to put it down to a simmer. Let it simmer for a couple hours. Let it cool. Strain it, and you have the lowest salt, most cost-effective chicken stock that you can take in many directions. We're going to take it to lentil soup in our next video on lentil soup. And you're going to have a wonderful soup, and you're finally going to have an understanding of what do I do with all those dried lentils or peas. So I hope you enjoyed your Sunday chicken dinner. I hope you'll come back to Ammonoosuc Community Health Services Food is Medicine Portable Teaching Kitchen often to learn more of how you can cook foods you'll feel good serving your friends, family, and neighbors. Hopefully, we're trying to get you in prep the plate in less than 30 minutes. Have a great day. Thank you.